Welcome on into this edition of the Sports News. Lots of reviews and previews coming up as the high school football season has finally kicked off here in the state of Wisconsin. We will cap that and a lot more for you. But first, it is the headlines. And the headlines, of course, powered by the Red Zone over on Regent Street, Conant Automotive in Stoughton. Stick around. The Sports News right here, right now on 57 Sports. All right, headline time. You're looking at the tackles, hits, checks, and dunks that make up the local sports scene. I am your host, Rich Reynolds, and as always, let's hit the ground running. You know, here in the state of Wisconsin, we are all a little football crazed. Admit it, it's okay. Most of us have a serious problem. Now, it starts with the Packers, boils over to the Badgers, and trickles on down to the high schools, who, much to the delight of many, kicked off their football season on Friday night. Now, we were able to deliver the A1 Furniture and Mattress Kickoff Bowl, a Badger Conference crossover as Oregon visited DeForest. The Norskies were honoring longtime head coach and current assistant Jerry Rolke, who led DeForest to a state title in the 80s. Now, the packed house had that and a 7-3 halftime lead to applaud, but a 52-yard pick six by Jaleel Turner, followed by an amazing 79-yard run by Cardell Phillips, helped the upstart Panthers upset the Norskies 24-14. The 1-0 start by Oregon matched their win total for all of 2016. Now, next up for 57 Sports, we will have the West Side Bowl. It's a Big 8 battle between Madison West and Madison Memorial. Well, opening night around the Big 8, Sun Prairie blanked Madison East 56-0. Shutout wins also for Madison West and Verona, as West downed Beloit Memorial 20-0 and Verona zeroed out Parker. Middleton won big over Madison Memorial 36-7, and Lancer tailback Kavion James Ragland found pay dirt 3 times in a 30-22 victory over Janesville Parker. The Badger Conference was in crossover mode in week 1 as well. Now, beside the Oregon win, which we broadcast, other winners were Waunakee, Watertown, Monona Grove, Mount Horeb-Barneveld, Stoughton, Monroe, and Milton. And the biggest game in the state lived up to the hype as Kimberly extended their nation's best 56-game win streak to 57 as they snuck by Fond du Lac 35-28 in a barn burner in Fondy. And a possible small injury is turning into a big controversy in the NBA as the Milwaukee Bucks are being accused by Greece of faking a Giannis Antetokounmpo knee malady. The Greek Basketball Federation is claiming that the Bucks concocted this plan to keep the Greek freak from participating in the upcoming European Basketball Championships. Although the NBA has denied the allegations, the Greek Federation claims to have a scan of Giannis's knee and will bring that and more details forward soon. Nothing like some late summer basketball drama. Well, for more information on our headlines and all the 411, check out these fine websites. Yeah, stick around. We have a jam-packed show as we'll do the interview thing. That's next, right here on the Sports News on 57 Sports. Racing season going on right now, and a lot of people heading out to racetracks all over South Central Wisconsin. We've been keeping an eye on Wendt Racing as we bring back in Bill and Jordan Wendt here on the Sports News. Fellas, welcome back in. You got that first race out of your way. How did it go? Talk about it.
Well, it went all right. It was exciting. It was fun, and qualifying was great. And then the first heat race was awesome. And then it came to the feature, and considering that was his first race after his kidney transplant, he was overheated. He just was overexhausted, and just got to take baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely. And but it's such a heartwarming story to get out there and to do that. And Jordan, I know you weren't feeling that well, but how did it feel to get behind the wheel though and race?
I felt good to bat in the seat and race then.
Yeah, absolutely. And be out on the track and get it out of the way, get that first race out of the way. So anybody special show up for you guys?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had two very special people come in, and they actually came in the pits. One was his grandpa, and the other two were Renee, his donor,
Wow.
for his, and her husband, Kevin. And man, I mean, talk about Jordan putting a smile on his face. I mean, he just, he lit up. And they stayed through the, most the entire night, and were very motivated, very interested in his car, and took lots of pictures, and it was a lot of fun.
I bet. That is absolutely amazing and a touching story as well. So great to hear. So as we go forward now, what is up next for you guys?
Well, we're racing in September 3rd, I think it is, at Angel Park Speedway.
Okay.
There's possibly, we'll go up to Plymouth, Wisconsin, and again, try to make it up there. We just have to stay away from the heat,
right?
For a while, and just take baby steps.
It'll cool off soon enough, so that's a good thing. We got about 15 seconds. Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Well, I'd like to thank A1 Furniture, UPS Store, Sleep Inn of Madison, JB Enterprise Lawn Care Snow Removal, and Channel 57.
Beautiful. We always like to hear that too, so that's always good. Fellas, thanks for being on the show. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll keep checking in on you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, fall sports getting back in full swings at high schools all over the state. Thank goodness, as it gives us a lot more to talk about as we talk some cross country right now with some familiar faces here on the Sports News. We have Brian and Alexa who are back in with us. And guys, welcome back. And let's talk about last year. You guys, head coaches together. How did that go?
Really well, actually. Our strengths really complemented each other, and we have very similar, if not almost too similar, coaching philosophies. Everything just worked really well, working together, and I think it's going to be another great year.
Yep, we're excited for year number 2.
Yeah, and speaking of excited, who are you excited as far about as being your leaders for the team and maybe some new impact players?
Well, I think for the boys, we have a lot of guys that are returning. Jack Rader, Sam Yeager are 2 seniors. They're probably both captain material. And, we got about 8 or 10 guys that really could be varsity. So I don't know who's going to lead the team, to be honest with you, throughout the year. So we got a lot of guys that are going to step up.
Yeah, as far as the girls, we have quite a few returning. We have a very deep team this year. We have a lot of girls in that, the top 12 girls are all going to be competing for varsity this year, and I think we're going to have a very, very solid year for the ladies. Yeah,
and you guys always usually very competitive, especially when it comes to conference. What's the outlook that you guys have for this season? What are some of your expectations?
Well, we have about 130 athletes right now. I know for sure that's the most we've ever had for the boys. And it's pretty close for the girls team too. So we were approved to add an assistant coach to help us out with that. It's gonna be a little difficult as far as coaching for us goes, because we like to try and get personalized routines and things with the kids. So it's gonna be more difficult to do that, but we're definitely gonna try our best.
Yeah, I think for this year, there's a lot of high expectations on both sides. I know the boys, they would love to win conference. It's been a long time since they won, and we'd like to get on the podium last year after being 3rd. So if we can get 1st or even 2nd, we'd be really, really ecstatic about it.
Yeah, and boy, what an amazing program to have that many athletes, and it's really got to bring out, I think, the best in everybody. So now, spinning this forward, you guys were first-year coaches or head coaches last year. Now you come into your 2nd year. What changes do you make? It seems like a lot of people make a big step forward going from their first season to the 2nd.
Yeah, we definitely learned a lot, at least speaking for myself.
Big learning curve, yep.
Yes, like I said, we added another assistant coach, which is really going to help us. We're going to introduce more specific basic weight training routines on a regular basis. We didn't really do that too much last year because we really didn't know what we were doing. But now that we kind of know what we're doing, we're going to add that in, a lot more recovery and a lot more cross training.
Yeah, and quickly, I just want to get this in. We got about 10 seconds. Tell us about the fundraiser that you got going on.
Yeah, so next week we're doing a fundraiser. It's a car wash at Witch in Middleton. So if you got a little dirty spot on your car, feel free to bring it on by, and we'd love to see you there.
11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Perfect. Even if you don't have a dirty spot, get that car washed.
Yes.
Good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for being on.
Thank
Good luck
you.
this
Yeah,
season.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Okay, anyone for tennis? Yeah, it's an old question that leads to an old joke, I think, or something, but I'm for tennis, and I love watching some, and especially on the prep level, as we bring in now some Spartans from Madison Memorial High School. They are the captains of the girls' tennis team. We got Kelly, Davika, and Ivanka, and welcome on in, ladies, and let's talk some tennis. You got that first meet out of your way. How did it go?
Well, our first meet was yesterday, and we got first place.
All right.
Great start to the season.
Yeah,
Did
absolutely.
great. Everyone played amazing. It was a great run for the season.
Yeah, that's the way to get it started. So good. Always good to get started with a win. You guys have a huge team. A lot of girls that are out for tennis. In fact, some 60 girls that are playing tennis this year. As captains, how do you manage a team that big?
Right, so our team runs on a no-cut basis, which means anybody who's interested can join. And the way we handle it is we have a lot of coaches. So we have actually 5 coaches for 5 teams, and we have 5 captains to help manage the large number.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of players that are out there, a lot of tennis balls flying around, and yeah, a lot of good stuff because it brings a lot of talent in as well. So that is always good to see. So let's talk about high school tennis and some of your fondest memories. What do you think is the best part about playing high school tennis?
The best part of playing high school tennis has been collaborating and bringing a huge group of girls together, especially at the beginning of the season. No one knows each other, and we grow as a team together, and by the end, we're a huge family.
Yeah, I like that for the best. Just like getting to know people you might not see in like school every day.
And like you get to play with different people, which is a great experience, and getting to know one another. By the end of season, you're really close to some people you would never thought you'd really know that well.
Yeah, and it's funny, and after the season's over, those are the things you're going to remember the most, actually, are those friendships that you form. So that's great stuff. Let's talk about some of the goals that you guys have set, maybe individually, team goals. What are some of the expectations you have?
So I think one goal for the entire team would be for every girl to improve from the start of season. Just set a personal goal and see if you can reach it.
And as captains, we've had this goal of making our team as a bigger team and collaborative as possible. So since the beginning until the end, we just want to become a family.
Yeah, with 60 girls, it's kind of hard sometimes for everybody to come together, but yeah. And another goal we might kind of hopefully get to accomplish is making team state. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would all be good. We got about 20 seconds. Ladies, if we could quickly, who's your favorite tennis player?
I love Serena Williams.
Yes, Serena Williams. We all like Serena Williams. I like
The
her.
Serena Williams fan club over there.
Definitely.
Exactly.
You gotta love it. Ladies, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back in the day when I was in college, I used to have a pretty good backhand. Those days are long gone. Maybe these ladies could teach me the proper way to hit that backhand once again as we bring in some of the top brass over at the girls tennis program at Madison East High School. We have Emily Oberwetter as the head coach. We got Emily and Kaylin who are the captains, and welcome on in, ladies. Let's talk about tennis and about your team and about the dynamic. So coach, it seems like every year the team kind of takes on a dynamic of its own. What's the team dynamic like this year?
Well, this is my first year as a coach, and so far we're only a week into practice, but everyone is having a really fun time. That's the main thing we're working towards, is just everyone having a positive attitude and having fun out on the court.
Very good, yeah, and that usually could lead to very positive things. And, you know, sometimes, though, there's those hurdles along the way. What's the biggest one you got to jump over this year?
Well, right now we're short a few girls for the varsity lineup. It's kind of hard getting enough people for the invitationals, so we're working on recruiting some more people, some more athletes getting more bodies out on the court is what we need right now, so we can have a full varsity and JV lineup.
Yeah, I definitely want to get those girls out there. So let's talk about this season too and some of the things that you're excited for. Maybe we can go around the table and each of you can answer that. What are you most excited for this 2017 season?
I'm most excited for our new coach. I love the dynamic that she brings to the table, as well as the new assistant coach that comes along, and all the girls that decided to come out this year.
I'm most looking forward to playing with the new coaches and learning new things. I'm really excited for us to become a stronger team because we definitely need to work on teamwork, and I think that having Emily and Ryan will really help that.
Yeah, me and Ryan and also Coach Crutchen are really excited to teach the girls some more technique because in the past the coaches haven't had as much tennis experience, and everyone's really eager to learn, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, and that'll definitely help. I mean, the fundamentals are always a great place to start. So let's spin this forward then a little bit. Where do you see this program heading in the future?
Well, as I said earlier, we're really trying to get some more girls out here. So over the next couple of years, we're hoping that some more girls will come out, fall in love with tennis, and really be committed to the team.
So let's talk about first week, and you said you were practicing. Had a tournament in there too. How did that go?
Do you guys want to?
Sure. We played yesterday. We're our doubles partner, and we played at an invitational yesterday. It went pretty well. It was a good start the season off, and I think practices this week have been going really well. All the girls come out and you just play and you learn with each other, which is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations at least on that good positive start. We'd like to see that, and good luck for the rest of the season. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, as the dog days of summer are starting to come to an end, it means that we start to get to focus on some football. And here at 57 Sports, it means that we get to focus on the A1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series. Totally looking forward to that. I do the play-by-play. The guy I'm talking to now provides all the color for me, and that is former UW Badger quarterback Mark Martinez, who is joining us here on the Sports News. And Mark, welcome on in. Starting to get pumped up for a new football season?
Absolutely. You can smell it in the air. Excited to join you for a second season, Rich. I really look forward to this season.
Yeah, I'm driving around. I see kids practicing out on the field now, and it's like, okay, it's getting close, and I'm sure that the kids are chomping at the bit as well. I'd like to delve into your background a little bit. Tell us about your time when you were part of the UW Badger football program.
Well, I was a walk-on back in the late 80s, and I was with the infamous Don Morton regime. Played quarterback for a year, and then I got moved to defense, played that for a year. So I got a chance to see the program inside and out just prior to Barry Alvarez coming on board, and then really just taking the program over and leading it to the incredible heights that it's at to this day.
It was a different world back then. I think a lot of people don't know. I mean, so many Badger fans don't remember a time when the program wasn't nationally prominent, but that used to be the case, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and that's why the 1993 Rose Bowl was incredibly special, because I was on the team when we were down at the bottom of the program. I think at one point there were 109 teams in Division I college football, and the Badgers were ranked 108. And so from climbing to that to winning the Rose Bowl in Pasadena was phenomenal for Barry to take it from where it was to where it was then, and then obviously where it is now with Paul Christ and the boys.
Absolutely, and I know that you are UW Badger all the way. In fact, when I had you on my radio show, probably 15 years ago, you actually sang the fight song. It might even be longer, might have been 20 years ago.
Yeah,
that's how far back that we go. So I know you're proud of that program, what it's been able to achieve. Speaking of programs that have done well, last year it was your final season coaching in high school football. You earned yourself a ring over there at Madison Abundant Life, didn't you?
Certainly did. So we won the state championship for 8-man football with Madison Abundant Life St. Ambrose Challengers, and it was an exciting season. We went undefeated, had a great senior class, and I had decided that last year was going to be my last year, and it was just a great way to go out with a great bunch of kids and coaches, and really going to miss it, but it was a pleasure and a blessing to go out on top.
So what it means now is for football, you get to be with us. And this is your second season doing this now. Tell me, what did you learn about being behind the microphone and calling a game as to being out there and coaching a game?
Definitely less stress. It was a lot of fun. Don't have to worry about the wins and losses as much. but that there is a ton of talent in the south central part of the state of Wisconsin. A lot of great coaches that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years and more. So some of these programs have just done a tremendous job of building their communities up from their youth program to the varsity level. And you see that week in and week out that we have tremendous programs, tremendous coaching, and great community following.
Yeah, the only stress now is having to deal with me in the booth, you know. And so that's, I know that scared a lot of people away back in the day, but no, we're happy to have you. Looking forward to the season. And speaking of the season, some games I definitely want to hit on and highlight. I think we got a pretty good schedule that we're looking at. Week 1, we get it started. It's Oregon at DeForest. Tell you what, that's a pretty good game out of the chute, isn't it?
It sure is. It's a Badger Conference crossover, North and South teams there. Dan Kissling, the head coach at Oregon, I actually played with him when I was on the Badgers. When I got switched from offense to defense, he and I played the same position. I found out pretty quick I wasn't going to be playing defense very long with the size and athlete that Dan is. So he's got a program down there that he's building up. They look to be much improved this year. I know he's looking to get into the top half of the Badger South Conference, and he's going up against a perennial team in the Badger North and in the DeForest Norskies, who always field a competitive team, but they always have to contend with the Wanakees of the world as well for that Badger North crown.
Yeah, I had the chance in the late 90s on the radio to do play-by-play for Norski Sports, along with a guy by the name of Roy Tudor, his son Chris now coaching over at DeForest. I mean, it's going to be one heck of a start to the season, so we're looking forward to that. Other games that I think really big, always like the rivalry games. We go into the Rock Valley Week 5, Edgerton at Evansville.
Absolutely. You got the Crimson Tide and Edgerton going to Evansville. Evansville is coached by the legendary Ron Grovestein, who's been down there for, I believe, 37 years. A lot of people know him down there at a small school. He's done a tremendous job. Again, they're returning conference champs from last year, and he's always got that program well-oiled to go. That should be a great tussle.
Speaking of rivalry games, week number 6, East versus West, the Madison versus Madison. Doesn't get any bigger than that in the city, does it?
It doesn't. We were at that game last year. East hosted it. It was a barn burner shootout. West had one of the best players in the state in Terrell Carey, and he put on a show that night. That was a lot of fun. East and West always seems to have a number of great athletes on either side of the ball. It just seems to be the team that can play the most fundamentally sound is going to turn out and win that game. West is returning all-conference quarterback Keyshawn Shanklin to start for them again this year. That gives them a little bit of a leg up over East, but East comes in with a new coach, Jeremy Thornton, who was all-conference quarterback about a decade ago, and he's going to try to lead his alma mater in his first year as head coaching and see if they can get a crosstown win over West.
Well, I could talk about this stuff all day. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I even wanted to hit on that week 8. We got Sun Prairie, Verona. Great schedule ahead of us. Hopefully everybody will tune in. Mark, looking forward to this season. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Rich.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Hey, a big thank you to all of our guests who were here on the show this week. Also, as always, a thank you to you for watching the sports news each and every week, and a thanks to our sponsors, especially the Red Zone over on Regent Street. Rick and the boys over there, check them out. Also, Conan Automotive in Stoughton that have been keeping us on the air for years. We do appreciate it, fellas. We will see you next time on the sports news right here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.